What is up? I wanted to share this article with you guys written by, it's either Mane or Maine, M-A-N-E, Kara Yakubian, and it is in PsyPost.org, titled New Psychology Research Indicates Hatred Toward Collective Entities Inspires Meaning in Life. It's a very funny and interesting and provocative title, and it goes something like this. Research published in the Journal of Experimental Social Psychology has revealed that hatred toward collective entities such as institutions or groups, but not individuals, can bolster meaning in life. I think that any casual observer of human nature recognizes that many prominent cultural figures or political movements gain a lot of steam when they have a clear, identifiable enemy that they are fighting against. I started reflecting more on why this might be, and it occurred to me that having an enemy, someone to hate, might energize people, explains study author Abdo El-Nakouri. That's Abdo El-Nakouri, actually, I suppose for Twitter, a PhD student at the University of Waterloo. Hatred might be a powerful, motivating force, giving people a clear purpose against a worthwhile enemy. I wish they would have used adversary there. In other words, a life full of meaning. While personal hatred aimed toward specific people could spur meaning, it may also elicit negative feelings, you think, e.g. victimization, resentment, which might undermine any derived meaning. Collective hatred is aimed toward groups, social phenomena, or institutions, and may be more likely to inspire a sense of purpose in life that transcends the negative experiences associated with personal vendettas. Further, hatred toward abstract collective entities may provide a more simplistic, evil enemy compared to personal hatred toward a concrete individual. The ability of hatred to spur meaning in life may be explained by motivational states associated with the sense of purpose and significance. Purpose has been linked to behavioral activation system, or BAS, related motivational states revolving around commitment to concrete or abstract priorities and wanting states that push people toward their goals. The pursuit of ultimate values is associated with these same BAS processes and may enhance BAS activation due to excitement relating to the transcendent significance of one's goals. If hate provides a sense of purpose by presenting an enemy that ought to be stopped, those who experience hate could gain a sense of meaning in life through these processes. I want to actually take a moment and interject a trivia question for you guys. If you get this right, I'll pin you to the top. I'm thinking of a rather famous line. No, it's not I'll Be Back from Terminator. I believe it's Terminator 2. Forgive me if it's Terminator 3. One of the Terminators, okay? There is a line in it that relates to this, and if you get it right, I'll pin you to the top. It's at least what I'm thinking. I'll make you a deal. If there's multiple lines that explain what I'm talking about here, then fine, whoever gets it first, I'll pin it to the top, but hopefully you guys know what I'm talking about. There's a very cool line in it, and it's a quick one. It's like a one-sentence line. Here we go. Hate may also inspire meaning in life by influencing motivational states linked to coherence and threat. Coherence involves having a predictable view of the world, which is free of threat and uncertainty. The behavioral inhibition system, or BIS, is activated by threats. For example, a threat to one's coherent worldview, which may spur internal conflict as well as feelings of uncertainty and confusion. As such, hate may increase meaning in life by offering a simplistic us versus them view of the world that quells BIS-linked threats. Yeah, you know what I was thinking when I was reading this earlier is this doesn't necessarily, as it's stated before, have to be against groups. Like a really simple, boiled down example of this would be, say you're at a slot machine, okay, and the slot is just taking your money. You are pumping money into it. and there's a person next to you. You're done playing the machine and you're obviously upset. No, this isn't going where you think. The other person isn't going to sit down and win. No, that story has been told. That person next to you, if they say something to the effect of, yeah, that thing just took all your money, right? And then you go, yeah, and then they go, it's been doing it to me all day, all week even. That thing sucks. That machine sucks right there. Instantly, you kind of feel like you don't feel as bad. I mean, you still want your money, but to know that there's someone else to commiserate with in that instance, you have a common enemy, sure, in the machine, but it also normalizes the situation. So the way you were wronged in that situation, it's not an isolated incident. So it would be very, very unjust if it was, right? If you were the only person that happened to in this world, where's the justice? It's not fair. But if it happened to someone else, if there's an equal playing field and you're not the only one it happened to, there is fairness again that's brought back into the world. There's justice. So you find that through commiseration, I've found. And yeah, it's that could very well be part of the beginning of the common enemy, if you will. It might be linked to something entirely different, like making friends or companionship. I just find a similar parallel there in finding the machine to be the villain. Let me continue here. Elna Corey and colleagues recruited a total of 847 participants. In study 1, participants responded to questions about meaning in life with regard to how their day was. They were then prompted to think about something or someone they hate or dislike for the control group. Afterwards, they categorized the objects of their hate, i.e. personal or collective, and wrote about the reason for their hate or dislike and the feelings they experience when thinking about this object. Next, participants responded to a manipulation check item to ensure those in the experimental group were indeed experiencing more hate than those in the control, the dislike group. Participants then completed the same meaning in life questionnaire items, providing ratings for how they felt in that very moment. Lastly, participants rated the presence of various emotions when thinking about the object of their hate, dislike, e.g. angry, happy, determined. Study 2 followed an identical procedure with the addition of an anagram task, which the researchers used to measure task motivation. The researchers found that writing about hatred, as opposed to mere dislike toward collective entities but not individuals, heightened BAS-linked feelings like eagerness, determination, enthusiasm, which underlies both a sense of significant purpose and quells feelings associated with threat and the BIS system, i.e. confusion, uncertainty, and conflict. Heightened BAS and lowered BIS predicted meaning in life that were beyond what the participants had rated at the very start of the study. First, conflict and hatred can meet people's psychological needs. This might help explain why people are endlessly drawn to conflict or struggle for the sake of struggle. As Francis Fukuyama noted in The End of History, Elna Corey told PsyPost, recognizing this, perhaps we can train ourselves to struggle against or even hate the right things in life. And I'd like to speak on that when this paragraph is over, actually. Obviously, that is at the very core of this. That's the angel versus devil theme in this, right? Second, I would like people to think more about whether they themselves are prone to engage in struggle for its own sake, and to be mindful of when they are doing it to get a psychological kick out of it rather than out of principle. All you Rogan fans out there will understand this as what? Recreational outrage. Exploratory analysis suggests that personal hatred did not enhance meaning in life in the same way collective hatred did, due to meaning dampening negative emotions associated with heightened feelings of threat. I'm gonna reread that for myself just so I can process it. I don't know if you got it. Perhaps it was my inflection that made it not easily digestible for me. Exploratory analysis suggests that personal hatred did not enhance meaning in life the same way collective hatred did, due to meaning dampening negative negative emotions associated with heightened feelings of threat. Yeah, I'm still unsure of what that paragraph means. Definitely help me out in the comments if you understand what they're talking about there. One of the findings in the paper is that people become more energized after describing a collective form of hatred rather than a personalized form of hate. Sure, I could see that. While I think this is highly plausible, this analysis was exploratory and not done through a specific manipulation, said El Nagori. So it could be that people who spontaneously nominated a collective form of hate are different than those who nominated a personalized form of hate. Therefore more work needs to be done to draw firmer conclusions. I also would like it if they would differentiate there when they're talking about, sure, collective form of hate, that's fine. That's definitely talking about a group or entity. But when it says personalized form of hate, are they addressing racism there? Because that is a very personal type of hate as well. Or would they consider the race in that case to be a cultural or collective entity as well? What denotes personalized there? I would like to know. The researcher added, I think one interesting question would be to see how hate compares to other sources of meaning in life. Is hate more potent than love, for example, at giving people a sustained sense of meaning? Perhaps hate is easier or safer because it is less vulnerable than love. You don't have to be open with another person to experience the meaning that comes from fighting an enemy. Okay. Oh, sorry. To finish it off, the study Hate and Meaning in Life, How Collective but Not Personal Hate Quells Threat and Spurs Meaning in Life was authored by Abdul Nagori, Candace Hubley, and Ian McGregor from the clan McGregor. Just kidding. Well, probably, right? Let's be real. I was going back to, the angel versus devil parallels in this, where what is hate? You want to get really psychological about it, right? It pretty much at the root of it would stem from wishing harm upon another, right? In the ultimate physical manifestation of hate, it would be for that person to be smited, stricken down, what have you, and that would fulfill your wish. That's a hateful thought, right? And I don't know if that's healthy. Is that the dumbest thing I've ever said? I can understand it being a motivating factor, absolutely. I mean, look, just take revenge, take war, take anyone that's lost someone, and you can put yourself in a situation where, everyone has felt hate before. We don't need to talk about what hate actually is over here. And coming together, you all know, come on, you're on YouTube. You guys are probably on Reddit also. You know about echo chambers. You know about how it feels to be part of a group, part of something. And that gives you meaning in that moment. It gives you all a common goal, something to strive for. And in that, you have a future. There's a goal. That means there exists something beyond today. And hey, reason to wake up the next day. That's what we're talking about here, is pretty much a reason to move on, or as this very article suggests, a meaning in life. Now, the end of this article, I'm glad it actually addressed it. I just addressed it as devil versus angel, but the end succinctly, the irony there, expresses it as a competition between love and hate, and it asks specifically, is hate more potent than love? Now, I can't think of any examples where hate was able to save a person's life. Oddly, I can, or I'm going to say interestingly there, I can think of one where love did. And it's in a book, actually. Oh, do I say it because it's a spoiler? I'm gonna say it. Okay, I'm sorry. And it is the takeaway of the book, and I may as well. I would rather give the message of the book and have everyone else communicate the message of the book than just save it for a spoiler, because so few people will actually read the book after my suggestion, so I'll just tell you what the takeaway is. It's a book called Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl, I believe Viktorfrankl. He was a Nazi Holocaust camp survivor. I know he was a professor afterwards. He was a lecturer. I forgot if he was beforehand. He talks about him being able to make it through sleet and snow, working with no food, water, just, you know what a Nazi concentration camp is like. And the thing that kept him alive the entire time, while people around him were dropping like flies, was the thought that his wife might still be alive. It was the love for his wife that kept him alive. And obviously, he is way more eloquent in his writing and his recounting of all of that than I am in this. But I found it important to address in this situation as an example of good versus evil, love versus hate. So there is an example, and I believe there are many, many, many other examples of someone who loves someone else to the extent of, let's just say, fighting for them or staying alive for a longer amount of time to make sure to be around for them. And I would say that's more often the case than someone's hatred for another keeping them alive. In fact, if you really, I have a feeling here, if you look at biological indicators, perhaps cortisol levels, different hormonal levels, blood pressure, things like that, and compare actual feelings of hatred versus love, you're gonna, I'll bet, I would put money on it. I was gonna say, if I was a betting man, and I am, I'd put money on a higher incidence of all-cause mortality stemming from a hatred-based meaning in life than a love-based one. And I think I'm going to leave it on that. I would love your 2 cents on this. If you're still awake, let's talk in the comments. I want to get people's, not only your overall opinions on this, but I want to hear some other than my slot machine example. I'm curious if you guys have any examples where people ban and use Reddit if you want to. Perhaps this, can you think of any healthy hatred examples where people band together in something that could be looked at as hatred, but really at the core is for the good of humanity? I would love to know. Let's talk about that, if anyone's got anything. Okay, we're good here. Thanks for hanging out. Go get some sleep. Keep gaming, doing whatever you're doing. I found my remote again, so I can just turn it off now. Oh, please like and subscribe, talk in the comments, do all the good, healthy algorithm stuff. And thank you very much. I'll talk to you guys in the comments. Bye-bye.